Hey everybody, how are you all doing? It's a long time since I made a video. It's been a whole year, I think, and this is in relation to all people who commented on my NDPH, and I'm sure many of you came to the video looking for somebody who also had it. Thank you all for your comments. They have actually been amazing. I have to say, truly, the other day someone was commenting to me, some young guy, younger than me. He was 18, and I'm so sorry, and he was sorry for me, and I can't thank you enough for the comments. It really has helped me greatly. Doesn't help, but it helps. It helps. Just knowing there's somebody out there. How am I? Oh, well, I've been on this drug, Aimovig. There you go, 140 milligrams. I take this once a month. It's an EpiPen, so you insert it into the muscle in the calf of the leg. So it's like this part you take off. There's a cap on this initially, and then you just go, hold on, and you go, you just press down on it, like almost like a diabetes pen, like that. Let me just make sure this volume's high enough so you're not straining to hear me. So that's what I've been doing since October of 2019, and the video I made was back in May of 2019, or June, I think it is. Honestly, this only seems to work for a few hours afterwards. After I inject, there's a certain sense of calmness, which is probably just the anesthetic as opposed to the drug itself. It's the anesthetic contained within the drug to deliver it. And I don't think there's going to be. I don't think it's the drug. There's drugs. The drug itself is working. I think it's just anesthetic. That's probably the thing that has helped most so far, I believe. But it's just, if I have to live the rest of my life as good as I am now, I mean, it's still hell on earth. I mean, you can try and, you're just cut down. You're cut down to absolutely nothing, as David Goggins says, with suffering. You're just cut down to nothing. And you just, if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. So you might as well laugh. There ain't nothing to laugh about. I turned 29 there in April, and just another year of misery, of misunderstanding. It's like every morning I wake up, it's like another year has passed. I really do mean that. It's like, it's horrendous. And I don't know, even the people closest to you, they say they understand, but they don't. You just become quite numb to it, because if you say something more complicated than, let's say, I'm not feeling like it, they'll just turn off. So just give them the short one sentence answer. It was all they were going to listen to anyway. They're not interested beyond that. They'll say they are, but they're truly, when you get down to it, they don't. Yeah. Be kind to yourself, and I don't mean that in a kind of a self-help, lovey-dovey way. Few people understand this, and you shouldn't expect people to understand this. Don't take it personal that people don't understand it. You will take it personal, but don't take it personal. You just need to. Oh, we're back recording. Yeah, sorry. What was I saying? Don't try to take it personal, because Every bone in your body is going to take it personal. Just let it go. Let it go. You can't. You can control as only as much as you can control about this. And believe me, I've taken the complete reins on this. I have done crazy things that people would be disgusted by in order to get this, just to feel somewhat what I used to be. It's the memory. I was reading up about people with traumatic brain injuries, and I had a fall, 8 or 9 months before this. And I don't know, did this contribute to it starting? I don't. It's quite a delayed onset, or it was about 10 months. It's a delayed onset I had from the moment I had the fall. I had the fall to, so it was January 2009 I had the fall, and it was October 2009 when I had the this more important. This started, and there's no way of figuring out. I have a traumatic brain injury, but when you go down to the comments section for people with traumatic brain injuries on YouTube, you have people saying things like, "Oh, it's my memories of what life used to be like kept me going. I now feel like 5% of who I was," and it's like there's a wall and you can't get through it. And NDPH has all those kind of factors. Sometimes there are people's NDPH starts with a hit to the head, or injury. But the way they described it was so similar. I don't know. When I go to, for example, acupuncturists or Reiki therapists or whatever the last year I've gone to 1 or 2 people, I've given up on it completely at that alternative scene, and they were like, "Oh, they've been saying for years, like, oh, this is probably the fall that I did it." I'm like, a doctor would say, "No, it wasn't the fall." And I don't know, is he giving me the medical, the thing, not this thing, you giving me the peace of mind of saying the fall didn't cause it? Or when I go to all the therapists, they're more like, "Oh, it did cause it. It probably did, the whack." And he's a doctor and they're not. And yet it feels more like they're probably telling the truth and he isn't. Like, what would set off something that could cause a 0.01% chance of you getting it? There's many different factors that might cause it. Could be genetics, could be the fact that a fall was a contributing factor. It was a contributing symptom. That you're kind of wishing the therapist didn't say the fall caused it. You're like, "Oh no, don't say that, please. I really don't want to think that it did." But once I got into your mind that it might have, and I'd forgotten about the fall. I'd forgotten about the fall until I'd mentioned it to someone, in passing, like just as a thing. I didn't think to put the two together at all. The light here is terrible. So yeah. What was I going to say? The therapists in general, they're doing craniosacral therapy, and they have the best intentions in the world, but it just isn't working. Like every other damn thing they did. What was I going to say? I didn't plan this video, as you can see. Just wanted to speak to the camera, wanted to speak to the people who are the viewers, and oh man, it's getting tougher. I don't know what to do. Should I pick up a trade? If I do a degree, by the time this is 4 years basically are up, I'm still going to have this at the end of it. So should I just do the degree anyway? Should I? You hear people going at like the age of 40, "Oh, I love to change my jobs. It's like, this is a thing I'm interested in, and I really like the idea of doing it, and I enjoyed it." And I'm like, I don't even have that incentive. The only incentive really, besides poverty, to go into it. that seems like that seems like the most important thing. And I don't have it. I never meant to choose. I meant to choose. And giving me my whole life has been fucking impossible. And then people act like I don't make impossible decisions, that I'm just being cowardly. I ain't being cowardly. I really am not. You know, I'm just looking at the webcam here, and you can actually, like, you can see the wrinkles, like, it's... The Botox I had for the headaches years ago are well worn off at this point. You know, all my friends went around, friends I had, traveled the world, get to do things, get to actually, you know, I want to go on a trip. I am looking forward to this trip. It is going to be exciting, you know, before they get out, and it's like their mind is ready for it. They have a bit of tension and nervousness about going out in it. But that's a good thing, because that means you're alive. That means that, like, you know, there's an anticipation for what is going to come, for what is going to happen, for what you're going to do in it. Slightly, you know, I'm not saying everybody's 20s are amazing, but like, there's, you know, I'm talking about the average person here, you know, the average person in that age group nowadays. But for me, it's just like, I don't care. You could put me anywhere. It's just, you become absolutely apathetic. Because it all feels the same, no matter what you do. You actually induce. The only way sometimes to actually do anything about this is to induce so much suffering by doing press ups or something, by doing some form of exercise, that your whole body's kind of just aching, and that kind of feels good. It kind of takes away from it, but it's your whole. You need to cut yourself down to nothing. So the irony, the awful, nightmarish, beyond bleak and grim thing is to, you think you suffered? No, you have to go even deeper. You have to actually put yourself under more suffering and do things that no one would do, even do things that people wouldn't even do, even if they were well, to somehow feel, I don't know, to feel like you can escape your body, like break down your mind. Because the real freedom is this, you know, I think it'd be amazing if you could take this kind of apathetic, like, feeling and bottle it. I'm sure you'd make millions. You could sell it to people. It's not caring. But it's an awful thing not to care. It's a real, people say don't care. Don't care. It's not a, you know, don't care about what others think, but really to not be able to care is just, and to not be able to, like, feel connected to the ground, or the, you know, people around you, is just, it's a walking death. It's a death march. And you'll be begging to care. You'll be begging to care. So I'm giving you two contradictory things here in this video. I'm saying not to care, and also saying just to focus on your own headspace. And then perhaps you will be don't take up rent in anybody else's headspace. Rent your own. Make payments on your own headspace. You've no interest in other people's headspace. They're not going to care. There's no point changing their minds. Maybe the physical work, or, you know, doing something maybe that they wouldn't do, and maybe just doing it and maybe saying it in such a way that, like, they get that, will silence them or shut them up for 5 seconds, just so they don't, like, look at you like you're subhuman. Like, you feel subhuman, and yet then they treat you like you're subhuman, when you're probably, people do have this, and they're doing things, and are pushing themselves or running themselves ragged are probably more braver than like so many other people, you know. If my eye were visibly red all day long, people would listen, but it ain't. It ain't. Alright, this is just an update on myself. You're more than welcome to make comments about your own lives. Maybe some of you are doing careers, and maybe I am being a little a coward. But the cowardly thing would have been to kill myself years ago, and I didn't do it. And sometimes I think, like, should I even put this up online? What's it doing? It's just depressing a bunch of people that, like, need support. But I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you and say it's going to be all okay. And there ain't no living with this pain. There's just coping and surviving. That's it. What else was I going to say? There's younger people here who have commented on my video. And I can't in genuine good conscience tell you, you know, a lot of you want careers, you want children and all the rest of it and everything that a person wants. But I can't honestly in good conscience tell you that this is going to go away or even get better. It might get better. Even that's, you know. And so there's a few women have commented. I think a few men too, and you know, you're about 19 or so, and I'm 29, so I've had this since I was 18, and I can't in a good conscience tell you it's going to go away, because I thought when I was that age it would go away, or wouldn't go away, but I thought I'd be pushing through it by forgetting about it, which was impossible. You can't forget about something that's just there all the time. It's literally part of your being. I thought maybe that would make it go away. It doesn't. I've had conversations with people like 6 years ago said, don't worry, it'll go away. 6 years later, I thought to myself, 6 years from now, I wish for the best and think the best, but it's probably not going to go away. And 6 years later, it's 2020. It's not 2014 anymore. It's 2020, and it's still here. And it ain't that much better. I'm thinking even today, like, this feels like the 2014 version of what I had, like. Because the symptoms gradually ramped up from about 2009 to 2011 or 12. So I started out with grit in the eye, and I started to get into my jaw, and you know, that was the progression of it. And I kind of stayed at that level. And you know, it's kind of wound back, I'd say, to maybe a 2015, no, I don't know, 2016 level. It feels a bit like what it was initially after I did the lidocaine or the DHE in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. Yeah, but 2016. October 2016, that's what it feels like. It feels like sometimes too, like I only have like a few genuine thoughts a year. I have one or two good days. I'm like, I can remember the things that I thought on that day. Like, those memories are vivid, like they feel real, whereas the rest of the year, it doesn't feel solid. The whole living of it doesn't feel like it actually, that was me. So, yeah. Coming up in 19 minutes now. Yeah, just comment below. Tell me how you get on. Tell me how you're doing. Good or bad, doesn't matter. Don't judge. Tell me maybe what drugs you're on if you're doing that. Tell me how you're going, how you're keeping, how you cope, what's what is your mental adaptations for it? Tell me how you're doing. Tell me where you're from. Don't need to go into too many details. And I'm more than happy to contact people or for people to contact me or for me to Skype you. I'm plenty of all the time in the world. And you know, I'm not as depressive as I am in this video. I really haven't. I just family shit. That's who it is. People who should know better. They think they're punishing you. They think this'll show him. I'm too numb to care. I'm too cut down to care. They wouldn't do what they asked me to do if they themselves were suffering from it. It's all about doing what they feel like it, and I feel like I'm the person who's for the last few years cared way more than they ever did. Cared way more and owned their headspace far more, when in fact they were thinking, while they were thinking of me and cared to me of a certain extent, they couldn't know it. They couldn't know it, what it was like, so they couldn't care in that way. Even though they said that they knew, they didn't care, they didn't know, they didn't want to know. It really is something that you shouldn't have to, but you have to know it. The death march. Yeah. You know, I've heard people say cancer is the long goodbye. This is the same thing. I really mean it. This is as bad. If the last 10 years were bad, I have 50 more to go. What are they going to be like? And this is when I was young, you know. I mean, remember, youth is gone. I didn't even have a 20s. Anyway, and they'll say, well, John, if you keep acting like a victim, you won't have a 30s either. Well, looking at things how they are now, I won't have 40s, 50s, or 60s either. Jesus, if I die today, or if I die in a 60, like I'm 29 now, I'm already half dead. That's the truth of it. If your body didn't work well when it was young, what are the chances it's going to work better when you're older? You're just hanging on, you're teetering on the edge of sanity. And you're thinking, what I am doing, what I am going through is crazy. And then you wake up and it's like, more suffering, bed, death. PTSD. I don't know. I haven't a clue. I don't know anymore. Everybody wants you to be something. You don't even know what the hell you are yourself. I've lived 18 years of my life and I've lived nearly 11 this way, so like it's coming up on half and half, let's be honest here, it's heading that way. I don't know. I don't know what makes me me. I think I do, but and like anytime you do it, like I tend to just, when I go driving or whatever, it's just to distract from the pain. And also people can't drive, but I do it to distract from the pain, and you're not doing it like without any enjoyment as such, you're just doing it to sort of like numb it, to kind of feel like you're, rather than looking at one thing, you can look at another thing and go to the beach, sit in salt water, float. And people don't see the struggle just to get to the beach and stumble across stones and the things you do to fucking stop it, or just to feel somewhat what you think what a normal person would feel like, or does feel like is just incredible. And I know there's all your stories out there. There's 1,000 instances a day, over thousands of days, just like that. The quiet things that are unsaid, untold, unheard. You mightn't feel they're worth telling. You mightn't feel they're worth telling because someone told you that. Well, that's nothing. That's like, do you want a medal for it? I don't want a medal for it. I just want you to stop pretending like I'm not fucking trying. I'm not running myself ragged. You wake up ragged and you go to bed ragged. It's like being in constant like fight or flight symptoms, you know? It is all the symptoms of, from what I read, anxiety. There's kind of constant sort of like a tension there is there. And your heart isn't racing, there's nothing like that. It's just like you just want to get the fuck out of there. Everything is just like grinding. Okay. I've made this video long enough. Please contact me. You have my details are in the description box below, so just click down or the first. Use any of those 2 emails or the Skype address. I use them all, so I'll see your message. I will see your message. Thank you for watching. I know this was completely. This is just another event like last year. My situation has not improved, even though it seemed initially that this might have done something. I don't. It would need to hold at the level that I initially had after the injection, forever. That would need to be a good baseline for, wow, this is actually pretty good. Maybe there's an improvement here, and then it would need to improve from that level to get better from that level, not to dip down beneath the level. That it should be like, okay, we inject this with you. Okay, you get initial. Whoa, that's good. Okay, that's actually better, and then it would need to improve. Okay, it would need to improve over the months, because the more you take of this, the more the antibodies in your blood, the more it sticks around, the better the pain should reduce. But no, it goes down, and there are days like. I took this back, I think it's like every 28 days, so I took this on the 15th of last month. You know, there was days like last week or 2 where like, I may as well not have taken it. Like, I don't even like, you know, it didn't even like register that I had taken it, that this had improved for me. It was just like, did I take that? I did take it, didn't I? Of course I did. This doesn't feel like any different, any other day that I wouldn't have had in the last 10 years, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know. Most days are like that, actually. Most days. And because of this bloody COVID-19 that you can't get to a doctor's appointment. All the neurologists in Ireland have been taken by the public service, so there's no private doctors anymore. So, I don't know, socialist takeover. If you pay privately, you can't get anything. Not that I can't pay privately, so because they're not there to pay. Hospitals are shut. Hospitals are shut. Okay, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck, everybody, and I'll make a video in a. I remember I said I was going to make a part 2 to my previous video. I didn't do that. So don't consider. I suppose you could consider this a part 2. But the next video I'll make. Oh no, am I making this week or next week actually? And I'll, you know, I'll make this a regular thing. I think people need it to do, and to be honest, I need it too. So I'll see you on the next video. Thank you, and see you then.